curtain of my color is what you use to avoid facing the facts of our common history, the facts of American life.
We need to find a way to get in the way. We need to find a way to get in good trouble, necessary trouble, if we're going to save America.
Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
Celebrating Black History Month is something that I really enjoy. I am a veteran educator of over 45 years, and there's so much I can talk about. Today, I want to talk about ancestral mathematics. You're probably wondering, what is ancestral mathematics? In order for you to be here, from the time our foreparents arrived in this country to now, the numbers equal mathematic or ancestral mathematics. Let me explain it to you. For you to be born, first of all, you need two parents. You need 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 second great-grandparents, 32 third great-grandparents, 64 fourth great-grandparents, 128 fifth great-grandparents, 256 sixth great-grandparents, 512 seventh great-grandparents, 1,024 eighth great-grandparents, and 2,048 ninth great-grandparents. So for you to be alive and to exist today, down through 12 generations, it took a total of 4,094 ancestors. Let me give you that number again. 4,094 ancestors down through 400 years. Think about it. Think about all of the hardships. Think about all of the sadness. Think about all of the difficulty. Think about all of the happiness. Think about all of the wonderful love stories. Think about all that it took for your ancestors to do. Future, giving you hope for the future, down through all of those generations that you might exist today. Wow, that's something special. You are Black history. And so if you think of all the skills and the talents that God has given you, you can make a difference. Marianne Williamson said, "Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measures." James Weldon Johnson said, "Lift every voice and sing. Sing with the harmonies of liberty." 2022, we still need liberty. But if you lift your voice and I lift my voice, together we can lift our community. I am Dr. Dorothy Travis Moore, and this has been Ancestral Mathematics.
Hello, I am a great Black history athlete. You can celebrate me. I am known in the world over as one of the best. I was trained by my dad, and I know how it is important to practice and practice and practice. When I was a kid, I demanded snacks every time I practiced my sport. I have 39 Grand Slam titles. I have 23 single titles, plus I have 14 double titles and 2 mixed double titles. I was born September 26, 1981. I am a 4-time Olympic gold medal. If you know, I must know I have won over $94 million in career prize money, more than any other female athlete. I am 15 months younger than my sister, who also plays the same sport. I am married and I have a 3-year-old daughter. Who am I? And what is my sport? I am Serena Williams, and I rule the tennis court. I am considered the greatest tennis player of all time.
Kobe Bryant was a famous basketball player who was born in Philadelphia. He was born to a former NBA player who was his father, named Joe Bryant. Bryant earned a reputation as a high-flying flyer by winning the 1997 Slam Dunk Contest and was named an All-Star by his second season. On January 22, 2006, he scored a career-high 81 points, the second most points scored in a single game. In 2020 of January, he died in a plane crash along with one of his daughters, Gianna, and 7 other people.
Who am I? I am the first lady of my church. I am the first lady in my community. I am a college educator. I led the church choir and played the organ at the church. I am a remarkable human being. I motivated my children that a better day is possible. The way I explained racism to my children made a big difference in their lives. I served as a proud member of the NAACP and several organizations that focus social justice. I was born on September 13, 1904 in Atlanta, Georgia. I died playing the Lord's Prayer. I died at the age of 69 on June 30th, 1974. Who am I? I am Alberta Christine Williams, the mother of Martin Luther King Jr.
I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh, eat well, and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. No one would dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that band all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the Israelite. God's gonna trouble the water. Ooh, wade in the water. Oh, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, see that band all dressed in red. God's gonna trouble the water. Ooh, it looks like the band that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, whoa, 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 wade in the water. Oh, wade in the water, children. God is gonna trouble, yes, he will. The water. Oh, home. Ooh, oh, home. Ooh, God is gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble the water. There's healing in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Deliverance in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. My God is gonna trouble, gonna trouble the water.
Now, as many of you might know, I am a high school teacher, and I deal with a lot of young minds, and I posed a question to them just to see where their head is. I just want to know. I asked them why do they think Black history is important to learn, and I get all the cliche terms and answers, so we won't repeat history and so we know where we come from and all those type of things. And then I turned the question to, okay, well, who are some of the most important Black history figures that you know? And of course, you get the Rosa Parks, the Martin Luther Kings, and things of that nature. I said, okay, now, what do you know about Martin Luther King? And, you know, you get all the things that, you know, they normally say he was a strong person and he knew a lot about things and this and that. And then I posed another question to him. I said, well, think about what would you do if you go to Applebee's on this weekend and you step in and they say, okay, well, we can't seat you right now. We'll get you seated in 10 minutes. And 2 minutes after that, after you sitting down waiting on your turn to come, 2 minutes after that, you see a white couple come in and say, okay, I need a table for 4. And they seat them right away while you still wait. And then a minute after that, another white couple come in and say, I need a table for 2, and they seat them. How would that make you feel? And they say, you know, all the cliche things like, yeah, well, we'll be mad and somebody have to fight and things of that nature. I said, okay, well, what would you actually do? And they were like, well, we'll have to possibly talk to a manager. I said, okay, well, yeah, you know, nowadays and age, that might get something happen. But think about the people in Black history that didn't have that option. If they were to go and talk to a manager, they'll get an angry mob to do whatever they want to do to them, beat them up, kill them, or do whatever. They didn't have that option. So you think about Martin Luther King and all of the people in Black history, they had to be very strong individuals and brave individuals. You think about all the times that Martin Luther King organized marches, how they organized sit-ins, and how they did all those things in Black history to get to the point to where we are today. So we can't take things that's going on today for granted. So the reason why I would like for you all to remember Black history or make Black history of some importance is that you have to understand that the things that our forefathers went through were very crucial, and they had to be brave people in order for us to be able to vote, in order for us to be able to go to the same restaurants, to have the life that we're having right now. So to answer the question, why is Black history important to be learned or taught, is because you have to understand that those people had to be brave and courageous individuals in order to have the things that we have today.
Hi, I am George Washington Carver. I was born in 1864 and died January 5th, 1943. My birthplace was Newton County, Missouri. I was a professor at Tuskegee University. I led the agriculture department there where I was known for the peanut plant research. I am George Washington Carver.
My name is Mercury Justin. You may know me as Maya Angelou. I was born on April 4th, 1928. I am a poet and a civil rights activist. I'm a phenomenal woman.
I am Langston Hughes, a social activist, an expert writer. I invented jazz poetry. I also led the Harlem Renaissance.
On January 31st, 1919, Jack Roosevelt Robinson was born in Cairo, Georgia. 28 years later, he broke the baseball color line and became the first African American on a major sports team. Jackie was the youngest sibling and was the most athletic. Here are some other facts about him. Jackie was also a successful tennis player, winning the Junior Boys Singles Championship in the Pacific Coast Negro Tennis Tournament. He was an accomplished athlete in several other sports. Robinson didn't play baseball between age 21 and 26. Jackie Robinson played with a semi-pro football team named the Honolulu Bears. He played his last game at Pearl Harbor and left the island and returned to California December 5th, 1941. That was 2 days before Pearl Harbor was bombed. Jackie was in the military during World War II. Jackie Robinson was not treated well in the Army because of his race. Baseball was integrated a year before the military was desegregated. Robinson attended John Muir High School, where he was placed on the Pomona Annual Baseball Tournament All-Star Team with fellow future MLB Hall of Famers Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox and Bob Lemon of the Cleveland Indians. Robinson was known for scout bunting. Jackie Robinson became the first African American in modern Major League Baseball. Jackie Robinson played his first game for the Dodgers in 1947. Jackie Robinson became one of the best baseball players of all time. Jackie Robinson successfully stole home 19 times in his career, which is the most of any player. Jackie Robinson showed we are better together than we are separated. From 1949 to 1962, 11 of the 14 National League MVPs were African American. In 1962, Jackie Robinson was inducted into the Baseball's Hall of Fame.
I am Mahalia Jackson. I was born on October 26, 1911 in New Orleans, Louisiana. I was an African gospel singer. In 1959, I appeared in the movie Imitation of Life as a funeral singer, singing Troubles of the World. I sung the national anthem at John F. Kennedy's inaugural ball in 1961. I participated in the Civil Rights Movement, singing for fundraisers and at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. I was a vocal and loyal supporter of Martin Luther King Jr. and a personal friend of his family. I passed on January 27, 1972, at the age of 60 in Evergreen Park, Illinois. Upon my death, singer Harry Belafonte called me the most powerful Black woman in the United States. I am Mahalia Jackson.
Once riding through old Baltimore, heart filled, head filled with glee, I saw a Baltimorean keep looking straight at me. Now I was 8 and very small, and he was no whit bigger, so I smiled. He poked out his tongue and called me. I saw the whole of Baltimore from May until December. Of all the things that happened there, that is all that I remember.
I'm not sure how old I am because slaves are not allowed to know their birthdays. I used to work in the big house until my master sent me away all by myself to work for his son in a tobacco factory because I am a good worker. It was really lonely there until I met Nessie. We had different bosses, so we had to ask them to get married. They agreed. We got married and we had 2 children. Now I'm happy. One day, while I was working, my wife and children got stolen. I was crying. I was really sad and angry. I knew I would never see them again. Dr. Smith is a white man that do not believe in slavery, and James is my friend. One day, I brought them my boss and told them my friend, Dr. Smith and James seal the boss while I tape my mouth. Dr. Smith sent me to Mr. William H. Johnson. Austin Street, 5th different Penn State, a place for black people also. When in the bus, I rode a steamboat and a red car. When I heard nothing and the bus opened, I jumped up and said, "It's happy to be here." Then after that, I said, "I have a birthday, March 20, 1849, my first day of freedom. Now people know me as Henry Boss Brown. I escaped slavery in a bus."
Langston Hughes was an American poet and social activist. He died to prostate cancer May 22, 1967. He grew up in Lawrence, Kansas. His poetry was mainly about conveying the messages of equality, racial injustice, and democracy. Black history is important to me because I need to know about my culture. I need to know about my people's history. I need to know how far we have come. Lots of African American people have done great things to push us forward and even change the way people look at us and how we are treated. My history and how far we've come means a lot to me. Although there's still a lot of work we have to do, we have come a very long way.
Black History Month to me means celebrating Black culture. To me, this month is not only about remembering our hardships, but remembering and putting emphasis on all that our people have accomplished over time. I think it's important to recognize how far we've come as people and not simply dwell on what we've gone through in the past. As a reminder of our Black success, I will be reading Woman Work by Maya Angelou. I've got the children to tend, the clothes to mend, the floor to mop, the food to shop, the chicken to fry, the baby to dry. I got company to feed, the garden to weed. I've got shirts to press, the tots to dress, the can to be cut. I gotta clean up this hut. Then see about the sick and the cotton to pick. Shine on me, sunshine, rain on me, rain, and cool my brow again. Snow, blow me from here with your fire-cut wind. Let me float across the sky till I can rest again. Fall gently, snowflakes, cover me with white. Cold, icy kisses, let me rest tonight. Sun, rain, curving sky, mountains, oceans, leaves and storm, starshine, moon glow, you're all that I call my own.
Black history is important to me because so many Black people have accomplished so many great things. It is so important for us to know about both the struggle and success of our people. Hi, my name is Elijah McCoy. I was born in Ontario, Canada on May 2nd, 1844. My parents were George and Mildred Gorns McCoy. They were fugitive slaves who escaped from Canada via the Underground Railroad. In 1847, we returned to the United States where we lived in Spelunky, Michigan. At a young age, I began to develop an interest in mechanics. My parents sent me to Scotland when I was just 15 years old to complete an apprenticeship in mechanical engineering. After becoming certified, I returned home to Michigan. Do you know that I was not able to find a job as an engineer because skilled professional positions were not available to African Americans? I went on to accept a position as a fireman and oiler for the Michigan Central Railroad. It was in this line of work that I developed one of my first inventions. I invented a lubricating cup that distributed oil evenly over the engine's parts. I got my patent for the invention. It allowed trains to run continuously for long periods of time without pausing for maintenance.
I was very successful in making train travel more efficient. I developed over 50 inventions. You should know that you should never give up because God always has a plan.
Katherine Johnson was handpicked to be one of the 3 African American women to integrate West Virginia's graduate school. She was a mathematician who helped get one of the first men to the moon. Although they weren't very accepting of her at first, they couldn't deny the fact that she was a genius. This piece of information is important to my Black history because it proves that my people have always been smart and are finally getting the recognition they deserve.
My old man is a white old man. My old mother is black. If ever I curse my white old man, I take my curses back. If ever I curse my black old mother and wish she were in hell, I'm sorry for that evil wish. And now I wish her well. My old man died in a fine big house. My mother died in a shack. I wonder where I'm gonna die, being neither white nor black.
I'm going to be talking about Harriet Tubman. What is the importance of Black history to me? To me, Black history is important because we can really recognize the people who got us here today. Martin Luther King Jr., Jackie Robinson, and Harriet Tubman are all examples of people who changed the world for the greater good for all of mankind. We celebrate Black history to remember and honor all of these people. That is why Black history is important. The historical figure I'm going to be talking about is Harriet Tubman. Here are some facts about her life. Harriet Tubman, originally named Amarine Taraz, was born in 1822. At first, she was a slave and her nickname was Minty. During the time she was a slave, she experienced a severe head injury that caused seizures and weird dreams. However, she thought these dreams were messages from God himself. She escaped from her owner when she used the Underground Railroad, an elaborate series of secret houses, tunnels, and roads set up by abolitionists to help slaves. After she escaped, she wanted to help other slaves escape their owners too. After making up to 19 trips and saving over 300 slaves, she was nicknamed Moses. In 1863, Harriet became the first woman to lead an armed assault in the Civil War. Sometime during the Civil War, she had to get brain surgery, but instead of getting anesthetic, she decided to bite down on a bullet like she saw all the other soldiers do. After the Civil War, Harriet worked with lead abolitionists such as John Brown. Even though Harriet Tubman died March 10, 1913, her memory is still remembered and honored by all.
I was born on February the 4th, 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama. I was a woman civil rights activist who refused to give up my seat to a white man on a Montgomery bus boycott. The Montgomery bus boycott was a civil rights protest during which African Americans refused to ride city buses in Montgomery, Alabama, to protest segregated seating. On the Montgomery bus boycott had assigned seating. The whites had to sit in the front and the blacks had to sit in the back. On December 1st, 1955, I refused to give up my seat to a white man. Back then, us black people didn't have the rights to do certain things white people could do. The whites had lots of new materials and the blacks had old and rusty things. The United States Congress honored me as the First Lady of Civil Rights and the Mother of Freedom Movement. I died on October 24th, 2005 in Detroit, Michigan. Who was I? I was Rosa Louise Parks, better known as Rosa Parks.
Denzel Washington was an actor. His mom cut hair and his daddy was a preacher. He wanted to be a doctor, but it was not meant to be. Denzel Washington was a good actor already.
Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of Kittler. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women at the North all talking about rights. The white man will be in a fix really soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or even mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plead and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could help me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it, and bear the lash as one as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most sold into slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, nobody but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Who am I? Sojourner Truth.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh, glory. Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots be on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up. One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, glory, glory, oh, glory, glory. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish. And then when it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh, glory, oh. Selma is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. No one can win a war individually. It take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory. One day,